Oops. Oh, jeez. Oh, this game's over. Tournament kind of looking like China vs Phil. Yeah, there's a couple China teams. They're a lot more low tier though. Dude, Play Hard spams the shit out of Rubik. Holy crap. I only see him play Rubik in... Like, I've literally only seen him play Rubik in the past, like, 5 days. That's nuts. Dude's got a hard on for the hero. I respect it, honestly. Everyone's into their own stuff, right? Respect it, brother. You do you. Yeah, my pass is still steaming, lads. Yeah, I hit. Eyesight snap by a 3, that's a pog for me. I do a lot of damage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Over here now. You double damage.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, so sad some of their stars.
Radiant's top tower is
Our
under attack.
promotion days is over.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
Come on. So tough. The mark.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lizard spit.
is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let the fun begin. Where's the party? So, over here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No one does this to me.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'll see you in hell.
Now your treat. What have we here? Sisters 3 once more.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Your storm was coming.
At least we weren't a bed.
Dire's turret has been killed. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Perhaps just a bit red.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
You had your warning. Oh, what'd I miss?
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks.
Can't keep a good girl down. Now, no good. No.
Dire now have mega waves.
Stay frosty. Regeneration.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Here I am. Come over here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Zip-zap. I'm over here. Zap. Very nice. I'll take you from there. Watch your step. It's 6 feet down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You feel it?
Oh, big plays.
Middle tower is under attack.
Sweet boys. Oh, what? Well, that could be a good team, actually. I didn't know Nico. Wait, what? Splitgo's on there. Is that Splitgo? What the fuck's happening? I'm so confused.
No. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Lay it down softly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
X marks the spot.
Real Splicker? Yeah, he's on a team with Winter and Nico, apparently. Although I don't know who Nico is. Who the fuck's Nico?
Dire team back.
Alrighty then. What? They don't have a player. What the fuck? Surely don't restart, please. We've done so well.
Radiant team back.
Who are they missing?
Dire team
Where's
back.
Tiki? Tiki's there. What? What is happening?
Radiant team back.
What? Alright. If they're continuing on, then I'll... I've had this happen once and they just restarted, but... Like, we're continuing on. Alright, so... another game of Neon. Let's see if it's another game where the enemy team don't ban the Rubik. Or they do have first pick though on Lowkey, so maybe they'll go for the Rubik themselves. But, I mean, I don't know. Neon have shown time and time again that play hard has a big hard on for the hero. Maybe it helps that he's the drafter for Neon, but I don't know. They really, really like to pick that hero up, and they're going to leave it in the pool. So low-key, they can go for it, potentially.
Dire team pick.
It's available. Let's see. There's a lot available, honestly. Still yet to see Neon play the IO, so I'm not sure if low-key played or not, but we got the boys like Disruptor there, we got the Lich there. The Lich counter and the Enchantress is gone, so low-key might actually pick this up in the first phase, potentially.
10 seconds.
I think this is why we're seeing a big rise in Enchantress, because all of a sudden Lich started getting very, very popular.
5 seconds remaining.
I do think, though, that Enchantress is still incredibly strong, even if there is not a Lich in the game. Let me get rid of that. Let's see. What do they go for here, lads? Sure, what else can they open up with? Wyverns there. Oh, Lich. I mean, that's why I didn't say anything. I'm presumed it would be someone I already said. So, Neon, they have potential to go for the Rubik here, if they want to. And they... When do they not? I feel like... I don't know, man. That's gonna be like the 22nd time they played it in the past week in a pro game. Play Hard's literally played it like 20 more times, and it's literally Rubik on like 20 or 21 games, and then his next highest is like 4. So, interesting stuff, but they're also a huge fan of the Abaddon 5. They're one of the few teams that actually still picked his bad boy up. Of course, it does still give them very good flexibility potential if they want to put the Abaddon in the off lane.
5 seconds remaining.
And they play the Abaddon 5 a lot more different than what you used to, just spamming up the Miscoil. It's now kind of just using that Curse of Abaddon to really harass out any offlane hero. And they're just going to go straight to the Mars here. So not a hero we see too much. The only time I've really seen the Mars is if it's against the Drow Ranger, which is a super interesting choice actually for them to pick up here. I do think a lot of people have been saying that Mars, even though if he has a bad laning stage, you still have very high impact throughout the game. It just kind of depends on how you play the arena. Well, we see the Timber getting banned out. A good hero against the Strength here. We'll probably see the Batrider as well. Batrider can always, fly himself out of the arena. My only one issue with the Mars is the BKB absolutely destroys the hero. Like, of course, there's a lot of heroes that suffer against BKB, but Mars is especially one of them. Maybe one day they'll make it so you can't BKB and run out of arena, but until then, I think it's going to be difficult. They banned the Monkey, okay. So just more matchups versus the Mars in the safe lane, I think, for that matter. Lifesteal, potentially? There you go. I mean, it's a Cirque Lifesteal as well. He's pretty nutty on the hero. I mean, it naturally has that magic immunity, so you're going to be able to disengage out of the arena. And it's very difficult to set up against the Lifestealer as well with the spear. So maybe they'll go for... I'm going to say maybe they go for a stun to help out with the Mars, potentially, but... I like the Morph. The Morphling ban just telegraphs the lifestealer getting picked up pretty heavily. Just the fact that the hero really suffers. I mean, they look how they're banned right now. Lifestealer doesn't. He do okay with the Phantom Lancer matchup now because it feels like you can come online at a decent timing just before the PL and kind of start to snowball. But still, the hero doesn't do relatively well with the illusions. In the late game, it's kind of just both these heroes don't kill each other, but PL makes Lifestealer more useless without mana. So yeah, they kind of protect this pick with these two bans. I just don't know how they're going to answer up into Lifestealer. Like, they could Bane, but they already have a Lich. And still, position 5, being able to get a channeled ulti off is... you don't get it too much, it's very rough.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, that's nice. I like that a lot. They don't have a lot of catch right now from Neon, so the Wyvern's going to have a really good time with pushing. The Curse is good setup for the arena. And then also just to spear someone away. They've got a lot of physical damage protection already with the Frost Shield and the Cold Embrace. So I want to see Neon go for some burst here potentially. I still think Batrider looks so freaking good right now. Like, I actually think you should have to Batrider. Both the supports don't deal with
5 seconds remaining.
the sticky napalm. They can't just get rid of hard dispel the lasso.
Dire team pick.
You can, okay, so they do like the Yopaj Lina though. Give me a sec.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
Razor.
Alright. Let's see. So with the Razor, it gives you potential now to put the hero up against the Lifesteal and the Mars against whoever the offlane hero is from Neon. I still think the Abaddon's going to be played as a 5, but they don't have the greatest way to kite out the Razor right now, and it's also a really nice setup with the Winter Wyvern. You have the Curse, go, run up, Static Link, pop everything. So there's really nice synergy coming through the fights from Lowkey, and I'm a little worried about how Neon can actually take their own fights. You see Tier's going to get banned out. It's a good matchup versus Lina. You don't have too many ways to deal with the refraction. No damage over time. I think the attack speed's okay, but even then, I think Tier is still a really good matchup. What offlane? I think, yeah, Batrider for Neon is really good, I think.
10 seconds remaining.
They've got enough damage with their cores. And it's a decent amount of magic damage as well. It's a lot more damage over time, not burst, so it's difficult against a Lich Wyvern, but... And if you... they do kind of have to save, like, as soon as someone gets lassoed, you just chuck out Frost Shield and Curse, potentially, but I think even then it's fine. And it pretty much hard counters the Mars as well, for that matter. Lowkey looking for their 1, though, up against the Lysol. The Morph Scorn, which is a bit shit. It's definitely one of the best heroes. They could Naga, honestly, if they want. Like I said, the Wyvern set up into the Mars arena is really nice. It's a bat ban. If they want that song, potentially. Neon don't really deal with illusions too well. I think they can Naga, they can... Yeah... I don't think you Slark here. Maybe you pick your mid laner, so Razor's flexible. No, I guess Razor can be...
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, maybe you go for your Lina matchup, actually, because you don't want the Razor mid, right?
5 seconds remaining.
Neon like playing the Abaddon as a 5 instead of a 3. So what's the mid matchup versus the Lina, though? OD's decent against Abaddon, doesn't do a lot versus the Lifestealer. I think OD doesn't work with the timing. They need someone to hit towers, which is why they banned the TA.
Radiant team pick.
Storm.
Let's It's not a hero to hit towers, but I guess it's really nice. They don't have too much secured lockdown. Now Neon needs some initiation here in the off lane. Like really, really bad actually. They might Sand King because you can get out of arena, I'm pretty sure, with Burrow. You don't have more magic damage, you're not affected by the Frost Shield or the Cold Embrace.
10 seconds remaining.
The matchup versus Raze is not the greatest though, as long as they have detection. Like you can...
5 seconds remaining.
Burrow striking throughout the trees is very rough because Raze still holds the static link, the range isn't far enough. They have no catch right now in Neon, it's just the Rubik. Lina is pretty decent against the Storm actually as the game goes on. The Ulcept is fine. I'm no huge fan of the Storm into the Lina matchup. 2 stuns I don't think is enough against the Storm though. They like the Conquer a lot in the offlane. If they have the offlane last pick, they a lot of the time go Conquer. It's really nice catch versus the Storm. Whoever gets cursed, just giving the run buff, and inside the arena as well, just kind of like a zoning ulti to be able to protect them. I would not be surprised if they go for it. Neon's one of the few teams I still pick this hero up. C pick this hero up, so I think there's definitely potential there for them to do that. But it still doesn't give them too much initiation. It's kind of just catch. Nowhere to start these team fights with, which I think Lowkey have so many ways to start with Mars, Wyvern, and Storm. Could be some Infest Bomb target. I don't think you can brew this game. Fuck, it's rough actually. And if you put the Abaddon side lane into a Raze, it destroys any immobile melee here, which is a really big issue as well.
I speak for the
I think they kind of had to go for a ranged hero that can go utility and also late game you kind of... Nature's Prophet has a very open item build, so you're going to be able to go Hex and Orchid if you make it to the late game. So I'm kind of okay with the Prophet getting picked up. I don't know who's playing the Mars, which is a little annoying, but I think they had the right idea. Unfortunately, it doesn't give them initiation, but they're just hoping that the lifesteal, they really need to secure the lifesteal. I think if you can get like a good timing with kind of Maelstrom, Halberd, Abyssal Blade as well. I've seen Circo pretty much Maelstrom Halberd even if it's not that good of a Halberd game. Just the fact that the status resistance and also giving you the amplification of the lifesteal is really important with the Halberd, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it this game. I think the Prophet gives them late game catch with, the Hex and Orchid pickup. I think they're just really relying on the Lina. I'm personally actually a big fan of Lina against Storm. The laning stage, you've got high attack range, which is really nice to harass, and the Dragon Slave, you as Storm, you kind of have to be on top of someone with the Remnant, or just spamming out the overload charges. So I think Lina in the laning stage is really nice, and once you actually get a Yule Scepter, you got pretty high catch on the Storm. Like the Storm Zip has a cast animation, it's not instant, so you can't get out of the Yule Scepter unless you really, really badly mistime it. So it's not like it's the Lina up against a Puck or an Ember where you have multiple ways with an instant casting, like an zero cast point survivability, whether it's the Sleight of Fist, the active Remnant, the Phase Shift, or for examples here. I was gonna do something. Oh, word. What was I gonna do, chat? No one's telling me because they don't know.
My thanks.
There was a mechanic that I needed to look up, and I keep forgetting it. Fuck. Oh, Razor Helmet, that's it. Razor Helmet. What the heck does... What does HG stand for, lads? Have game? Good, have good? Wait, is actually... I get unable to try to write F, no doubt. G's right next to it. I ain't a freaking fool.
30 seconds to battle.
Alright, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a hype series. We got some, another hype series after this. The loser of course, will drop down and face Signal Ultra in the lower bracket round 2. The winner of the series is going to face Team Cozy in the upper bracket finals. We got a hype matchup here. Neon up against Lowkey. Been watching a lot of Neon games lately, and you see Teehee really wants to get this matchup up against what I have to imagine would be the Lifestealer. You just want to be going up against the melee hero for that matter. And I'm kind of surprised the Mars isn't starting mid as well. I don't know what the heck to call the Mars. Who's their 3-player? It's Contrabeda. So we're just gonna call him Mars, it looks like. I like this idea of the ward on the high ground. It's similar to what we spoke about last game, I believe. The fact that if you're really reliant on getting the right lanes, you kind of want to put bottom side wards are really good here, up here, even this one as well, scouting out if they're blocking or even just running with the creep width. So we'll see the life steal. They're going to send the Razor down, but it'll be an interesting matchup to see how it actually does lane. So in the meantime, they do have the Basti as well on play hard, which is going to be super important. This will be, I don't think it's going to be an easy lane for the Mars. Early on, they don't have too much of a way to deal with the Trance until they start maxing out Mars's abilities, but I like the play. Mars doesn't have any creeps to hit. They're kind of just grouped up now, so the fact that he actually just blocked this hard camp, the lane's already naturally pushing because they have a double range creep, so it would be really, really nice for them. And Cirque's just going to run top, so they're going to make sure Cirque actually goes brown boots as well. So this is a nice heads up play. I think one, it's super good against the Razor. The fact that you just want those brown boots for the laning stage, but also now, because he knows there's a good chance of him having to rotate lanes, it's just going to get him from A to B. I do think it's still mainly just because the matchup versus the Razor, of course, but they will deal with this as well. So they scouted out with this ward on the high ground, so Radiant should have a pretty good understanding that there's a ward around about in the area, but take a look how mid's going. Storm Spirit 8-0, Lina. Hop behind though, doesn't have too many. Does pop the Selv, which is super nice, and that's also another thing about the Lina. If you don't respect the long range, and you see Neon are always going to make sure they get the proper lanes. Like Cypher, he can TP down bot, but use his ability instead of the TP scroll, and they got the lane matchups they want, and it's a melee hero up against Milo, so Lifesteal is really good in this kind of scenario here, but he has wasted a little bit of gold on the brown boots, like I said, so it's not quite the matchup you want versus the Mars with brown boots. It's really for the Razor, so it's not going to really tank you up too much or give you too many stats. So you do see they're kind of pressuring him out a lot with the Frost Blast, and I mean Fly Solo has still got 2 mangoes to work around with, and this is kind of what we've been seeing pretty frequently on the position 5s. So a lot of heroes like Disruptor, like Lich, always having a lot of mangoes just to spam out the Thunderstrike or the Frost Blast as well. So they're gonna try and put a lot of emphasis on the stacks. It looks like lose the fight. That's a nice way for the Storm to come back. It didn't get it out a little bit early actually there, so interesting. I thought he did it the right time. That's one of the late ones, but Cirque will get pushed back. It's still a lot of damage in with the open wounds. He might actually be able to close the distance here because he has the boots and of course the high movement speed change to the lifesteal, but he's going to be able to get first blood mid. It looks like Yopaj still trying to fight around Wyvern. We'll be able to clean him up, but off the side, man, sheesh. Kills constantly. I mean, they still find Mars under the tower. Apologies, missed a couple of kills there, sorry. I mean, the good thing is that, I don't know, if there's a good thing to make of it, maybe they can rotate the lanes now that Cypher's already used the teleport and not the scroll. But I think Yopaj is fine with dying there. Like, he was incredibly low, didn't have, I don't think, too much to work around with. It's going to give some items over to the Prophet as well. And in the meantime, RR's getting whatever he can down here. They are leaving Teehee solo. And this is a little scary, of course, but it looks like Prophet mainly wants to just play this +1 across the map instead of really doing what he can against the Razor. Like, he does have the brown boots already, so that movement speed's nice, but Razor's always going to have a movement speed advantage considering he's got that win lace too, so... the lane's right now going relatively well, I'd say, for Radiant. You see they're just constantly trying to put pressure on the Storm. They will know his invis as well, seeing this Cory is just coming, so... Like, he's just going to pop out of invis and they'll be fine. But Prophet still doesn't really want to TP down bot, considering just in case there is a kill opportunity mid. I mean, they're giving RL some solo experience, a little bit of gold as well. It's not really doing a whole lot. Abaddon as a position 5 doesn't need too many items or experience, but mid, however, Yopaj diving pretty deep here with the Vortex back. JG falling incredibly low. Yopaj going to have the Dragon Slave up as well. They'll find the kill, and now Lucifer's going to be careful. Let's say on the mark, and this will be a double kill mid for Yopaj. The tip's already coming through before the death. You love to see it for Neon. A really good start mid, and now Yopaj is about to hit that level 6 right before the bounties as well, so it's going to be 4, it looks like. Radiant, they'll hold this one up here. Does Yopaj have a bottle coming? I don't think so, I think it's no. It is a bottle, okay, so they keep the high ground rune. Probably got communicated there, so this is really important, and now you see just the +1, like, Cypher's really not playing around this bottom side, but he's still around the same level as the Razor, considering. It looks like Abaddon hasn't been soaking up too much experience, which is really, really important. But I imagine they'll probably leave top. See, Lucifer is also just rushing that Orchid, something we've kind of seen time and time again on the new position 4 Wyvern type of build. The fact that you have so much solo kill potential now with the change to the Winter's Curse, but they're just going to try and put a heavy emphasis on the stacks for the Storm Spirit. I mean, he's really starting to struggle. The good thing about the hero is that, I think you can double stack that, but the good thing about the hero is the fact that you really do... By solo. Do you have Sprout? He does, but of course Tango is available. So, it's very similar to the TA, that you can fall back to the jungle at a great timing, and you do... TA doesn't really need much mana, which is why she's probably a lot better, and that's the big issue with TA right now. I mean, even if you don't pop the refraction, you still farm so incredibly fast, because you can just kite out the wave, I should say the neutrals with the... Her E, fuck, why am I forgetting the E name? Cyblades, that's it. So the thing about the Storm is that, you know, you don't have too much protection. The armor's decent, but you really gotta fly yourself out a crap load of clarities to actually stay afloat in the jungle, and especially with no shrine being available. But see, he's going to be fine. So it looks like the laning stage being pretty slow after those kind of couple of kills throughout the mid lane. Really no more aggression happening across. You know, Cirque's having a really good time. You see Tico for the phase boot, so a lot. I've seen Cirque in like a free lane just rush the Javelin and rush that Maelstrom, but the phase boots makes it difficult for the Mars to have this set up onto the Lifestealer. And they do have actually a lot of magic damage though. The only issue is that, actually see here, he chased down here. I mean, he's level 6, incredibly speedy as well with the treads and the windlace, but RL might be able to cut him off here, and Cypher just picking up that ultimate throughout the nature. Melt him down. Cypher, this is exactly the start you need, and they're going to be able to rotate mid as well. JG used a lot of his mana, but it looks like Cypher's not going to join them, so... I mean, already level 6, considering he put a lot of emphasis on that mid lane, and I guess it just helps with the fact that they got a crap load of kills, and you already see, we spoke about the Prophet is, you know, Neon were lacking kind of a lot of catch, and Cypher's going to be able to provide that. It's not initiation, so the fights do get very difficult, I think, for Radiant. The only way I can see Radiant taking these fights is if they're really far ahead and just kind of getting pickoffs, and then kind of transitioning these pickoffs into towers, but you know, this is exactly what you need. You see kind of the Dire net worth really grouping up right now. Going to max it out. What's he's holding a skill point, I guess. I mean, I feel like you always get Arena, right? But he doesn't really have too much mana to work around with. Like, what does an extra point in God's Rebuke or Bulwark actually do for you? Zoom forward, play hard, or dragging back a lot of magic damage. Storm's getting a couple of kills lately. It's going to help him slowly come back. I mean, 1 to 2, 1, 2, and 2, I should say. But, you know, we saw the dive before as well onto the Lina, so... And Yopaj is just going to go for the similar build that we've seen kind of time and time again on the Lina. Not actually rushing the Yules, but Radiant, they're really going to play around this. It's kind of going to be like this high tempo lineup where, you know, the Dire side are going to be very reliant on the Mars ultimate. If he doesn't have this up, it's kind of hard to connect with any of his abilities. And Storm has a really, really lacking amount of damage throughout the mid game. Around like 17 minutes is... I'd say like 10 to 17, even 10 to 20 is where Storm really starts to struggle with taking fights until you get that first couple of items, mainly the Bloodstone Plus. It is a big issue for the Storm, so we'll probably see Radiant, you know, having the natural teleport and the Prophet, and then Yopaj going for the Boots of Travel as well. They're just going to try and split out the map, because until the Storm really gets a lot of farm, they don't have too much catch. You know, they need the Blink on the Mars. Wyvern's decent on the side lanes, and that's how I'd like to see the Wyvern play this, considering just kind of constantly keeping a wave pushed out, and you know, it's a decent game considering without, that's quite the freaking stack. They're gonna make sure they hold this side though, right before the 10-minute mark with the outposts and bounties starting to connect here. Zerg's ready to fight, however, rating they do have 3 heroes in the Prophet, always available to TP. Looks like Zerg's got the faster right clicks though, so it will be a 2 for 2 with the bounties. And do they want to smoke up here? I think Lena still wants to just get the boots of travel, just I guess going for the bounty. And Zerg doesn't have that Maelstrom just yet, but that's a nice item in the broom handle. You'll take that, no doubt about it. And they're giving a lot of farm to Cypher, man. I mean, he's already has the Oblivion staff picked up. He's going to close in on the next one as well, so I'd say the Dire have far superior team fight, but I think they might just get split across the map, and with the kind of the +1 advantage that Neon will have, they're going to try and always take a numbers advantage fight, and in a full 5-on-5, they'll just try and dip out. That's how, you know, the read coming through from this one, and they are really putting a lot of emphasis on Storm, and still considering, you know, that you take a look at the net worth, a lot of the last hits, yes, he's on top right now, but, you know, the jungle doesn't give you as much. The good thing is, you know, what the Wyvern has missed out from being in the lane, he's going to be able to recoup because the Storm's just having quite a blast in the jungle. Also the fact that he's got the mango tree to work around with, so they are giving a lot over to JG. And I think you're able to do this, you know, with the minimal lockdown that Neon actually have. There's so many blue heroes, it's a blue strat, man. What do you expect? There's just no other.
Top tower is under attack.
There's no other way to put it. No other explanation. Who can put pressure on towers? Is it a strat? It is indeed a strat. I don't really have any tower heater. Like, Storm's not good, Mars isn't too good either. That's kind of just a Razor, so I think we have to see Razor go. He's got to go physical damage this game, I think. Well, of course, you don't really have anyone else, but you know, a lot of the time Razors kind of go for a bunch of utility, and I say utility as in like drums, BKB, Sanjin Yasha, but I think Razors like might have to go like Butterfly, Satanic, and items like that to take him into the late game instead of like an Axe. Like, it's going to be scary. They do have a really nice hard counter in the Lifestealer, so Razor might be forced to build a couple of mobility items like the Sanjin Yasha just to stay on top of this hero. You can drain someone while they're infested, right? So what happens if Lifestealer gets static linked and then he infests someone? You still lose the damage, I'm pretty sure. But I guess the bonus movement speed will allow you to get away. I don't know. The way that, like, they just got to make sure they link up the Lifestealer, even the Prophet as well, considering, like, they're about to have such an early timing. Like, once they get Orchid, all of a sudden Neon, the floodgates, they're just going to open. Like, this could be, I don't know if, he's still a little bit away from Maelstrom, it looks like. But even then, the floodgates are literally just going to burst open as soon as Prophet gets this, and they're going to have a lot more emphasis of being able to push down these towers with 3 points up in the Nature's Calling. You actually see he's maxed out the teleportation. Yeah, I'd say the blue strat's probably a little better. That doesn't sound like the greatest strat to me.
Let the spirit stay frosty.
What's happened? Wait, is that a new one? I haven't had that one before. Purple strat? What's purple strat again? Void Bane. Void Spirit as well now, I guess. Who's are the purple heroes? Ricky. Abba. Would you count Night Stalker as blue? Darkseid, Enigma. Witch. Couple. I know, blue strat's pretty good, man. Look at that. Darkseid's so shit right now. Dazzle, that's true. Dazzle's not in a good spot either. I'd say right now, meta-wise, then the blue strat. But I'm sure purple will get there. I hope we have a Earth Spirit, Spirit lineup. Ember, Storm, Void.
Oh my.
I don't know if I've said Earth Spirit.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Red
is
for the
under
win? Yeah,
attack.
red's pretty good, but They're gonna try and protect the tower here. Prophet has this orchid now. Mars still yet to pop that arena. Losing on the Vlads as well, but I mean they force a couple of heroes and they're just gonna try and split the map, I guess. I'm kind of surprised they're not actually forcing that fight, considering, but looks like Playhard actually wants to try and get a little bit of farm and protect this tower. I mean, with 3 points in the God's Rebuke and Fade Bolt, he should be fine at
Dire's
this.
middle tower is under
It is physical
attack.
damage, so he's not gonna. I actually want to see how hard this hits. Oh yeah, Venge Spirit. That's right, I forgot. Oh, it's cool that it's green as well. Actually, it's like a really nice green. I've totally forgot about Venge Spirit. This game's really just slowed down. Honestly, it's just about Neon trying to hit that pacing. And Yopaj has the boots of travel now. Of course, has to go into the Yules. Like we said, it's just a really nice way to deal with the Storm Spirit. We're actually going to get aggressive on the Lena here, but Storm's going to be careful. If Prophet TP's out of vision and they're going to commit on the tower, however, Rappy's going to try and find Wyvern. Wyvern, they will be able to catch him out, but Curse, Lena, controlled up with the Taunt. Abaddon doesn't have the ultimate available, so he will get brought down. Now, let's do forward, however, LSA just off the mark. They've already used the Orchid now, and it looks like Yopaj is going to end up falling. So chucks up the Laguna Blade. Doesn't have any way to cut through the trees, however, but it looks like with the Cold Embrace, this could be enough, because Dire, they're rotating on the backline right now. Cypher's not going to get the kill in time, and they'll be able to close the distance. Nice Orchid is going to try and TP up. They have a way to cancel that, though, with the Sinister's Gaze to drag him back to his death. An incredible defense. They do still lose that mid tower, but all of a sudden he takes the bot one. They're going to be able to pressure up this tier 1 mid as well.
Dire structures are fortified.
Through screen strap.
Radiant's middle tower is
Viper
under
Venom.
attack.
All I think is toxic here is Necro, yeah. Give me your best green strat and I'll consider.
Radiant's
I don't think
bottom
anything
tower
goes up
is
against
under
blue right
attack.
now. And that's a really big fight, man. They looked like they tried to force a fight with the Orchid. A little bit mistime as well. Like they scouted the Wyvern, but he didn't get the. He actually had to pop the Orchid on the Storm instead of the Wyvern, which I think is really important. Does Mango Tree block camps? It doesn't, does it? It must not, because I've seen people put it like there.
The seeds of
Neon, they still do have a little bit of a net worth lead. You see Cirque's been able to farm up incredibly well. Oh yeah, Tree's pretty nuts. Cirque's going for this classic Maelstrom Halberd build. I mean, it's really good against. Even Storm very much relies on your right clicks. Of course, you don't have a lot of physical damage, but actually just right clicking to get the overload proc off, I think, is incredibly important. So it actually is a pretty good Halberd game considering. There's a lot of viable strats right now. I think Dirt is the most open it's been in a while, I'd say. I say that, but maybe actually. No, never mind. There's so many cores that you actually just can't pick up. You're not playing heroes. But I do think anything can be played in the right scenario, it seems like. But Neon kind of missed this little bit of timing they had with the Orchid. Cirque's gonna group up, try and make something happen. He's got the Vampire Fangs as well, which is a little bit of life still. It's 15%. Amplifying, of course, increasing what is coming out with the feast, and he's about to have the halberd as well, so that's further going to amplify his lifesteal. So it's going to be really nice on the lifesteal. Looks like he actually wants a dragon scale, but regardless, still die. They're more than content with. I mean, Storm's missing. He's missing his very bad window peak. The fact when you don't have too much damage, which what the fuck? How does he have Orchid? Well, he's very farmed actually. He's very similar in the last hits, but they've only taken one tower as well compared to the two right now. But there's it forward. Abaddon has the ultimate. Radiant, they're on the backline here. However, Dire, can they control this area off the map? Mars can drop the ultimate. However, doesn't control the lifesteal with the Orchid off the side. However, doesn't get the rage off in the meantime, and now play hard down to the southern side of the map. Still getting continued chased by the Mars, and he will have the abilities up in a couple of seconds to bring him down. It looks like Yopaj sucking him dry. 3 dead on Radiant. Lowkey taking another incredible fight there, honestly. Tell me scenario if a Pugnet dominated for 20 minutes, died one time, lost the game, the old is just useless. I solo? Rappy, it's pretty hard right now, but he's got to be careful. They'll cancel this. Spear pushes him back. Comes in that little bit of chain lockdown here, but it looks like Sci-Fi. I mean, he's already TP'd in. Could use the scroll to go out, however. God's Rebuke, it will be enough with that last right click. Radiant, they're going to still rotate a couple of heroes in, and with the Orchid now, Abaddon, he's got the ultimate still defensively just in case. They're going to be able to back off. I mean, I don't know, what, is Pugna life drain that bad? It depends if they have stuns. Like, I don't think it's one of the most useless ultimates. Oh. Well, you're going to make Rubik feel pretty loose, useless mid lane. They'll pin him to the tree and they'll bring him down. Someone give this man a high five. Mars is starting to ramp up the pressure now, and all of a sudden Dire actually being the ones playing a lot more open early on, considering from what I thought. I thought it'd be a Radiant favored, but now 3k gold net worth lead for them. Really good start to this performance, and I mean, Tiki, we spoke about the fact that maybe we'll see the Razor go a lot of movement speed and just mobility, and he's got this Sanjin Yasha, movement speed with the Mom. Got this Windlace backpacked actually, but I guess the infused raindrops is really nice. And he's gonna go Hurricane Pike next, so really good way to kite out the lifesteal. It's also just, as the game goes on, it kind of acts as a way to deal with the Sprout. But my big issue right now in Radiant is the fact that they kind of have to go back to split pushing the map. I think Dire still don't have a lot of catch until, well, Mars has blinked now, so never mind. The catch is starting to get a lot better. Storm's getting these items. Still, I mean, he's second in net worth right now. He's got to have something coming out. What am I missing? Yeah, it is Bloodstone, okay. So all of a sudden now, Storm really missed that kind of bad window where he's not as strong, but this mango tree's really helped out in the amount of stacks they created for him, but they're going to try and find Cypher, however, in the backline. Stack up these Bloodstone charges. Mars will wrap around, and they control him before he can TP out. It looks like the Sprout just perfect setup to lock him in place. Now the Abaddon as well with the ultimate on cooldown. This is one thing I forgot about how good Mars is actually against the Prophet, and they're going to try and TP to defend this. Two rotations coming through. They get the Yule Scepter. Will control the Razor here, but off to the side, however, Leonard Curse stops the retreat. Nice telekinesis stun, but it doesn't matter. Yopaj will not be allowed to disengage. It's another kill for Lowkey, and they're just playing so aggressive right now. And Storm, along Zip, gets a bonus damage over the Rubik. Perfectly placed Zip from JG. Wow, man, Dire just pedal to the metal all of a sudden. As soon as they get the Bloodstone, this is where you love to see them ramp up the aggression and try and get Bloodstone charge after the Bloodstone charge. And I love the tip as well coming through. We saw earlier in the game the lifestealer tipping the Storm Zero once it got brought down at that mid lane. And he's just going to tip him back, considering all of a sudden it's a 5,000 gold net worth lead right now from Lowkey. And they're looking incredibly strong. I don't know, you'd think that Radiant are the ones that always have the numbers advantage, but Dire, they're making sure they show up with a couple of heroes, and constantly having this outpost control and fighting around it is super important. And you've seen Lozify, who's going to go Shadowblade next, so, I mean, just see how it's kind of play, set up for potentially, the Storm Spirit, just split pushing out the map constantly. And Radiant, it starts to feel like they're the one lacking the pick-off. Like, I mean, we spoke about how they don't really have a way to deal with the Storm. It's kind of if they get lucky with a Yule Scepter into telekinesis, and that might be long enough for the Prophet TPing in. But apart from that, Lena's going to need a couple more items, and at least the Shadowblade will enable some catch potential. Alright, nice use of the ultimate. They do get the slow. They could drop the arena if they want to allow the team to close the distance. Looks like instead they'll just zone it back and try and take this tower. I mean, BKB on T here, and I think Dire could just end this game.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, that's something I thought out. The fact that Radiant can't really take team fights, they just have to split push out the map and get pickoffs. But they have a really good way to deal with the lifesteal. That Razor's actually one of the best scaling heroes against him as the game goes on, because very reliant on his physical damage. And the good thing about the lifesteal is that you move incredibly fast, but Razor's kind of counteracting this. I mean, Mask of Madness, he has the Sanjin Yasha, and also the fact that, my sunset is nutty out the window right now. I can't really see too well, but but the fact that also, he's going for Skadi next, which is super nice. I mean, it's going to go through the magic immunity, so it makes it even more difficult for Lifestealer to be able to just rage and run himself away. So they're real. I think the only way Neon can kind of deal with this later is if Razor doesn't. I don't know. I think Neon just have to split the map and try and get pickoff after pickoff. And now with this Aegis, I mean, Dai know how far ahead they are. They know how much better team fight they have, and they're going to force Roche. They don't take it very fast.
Immortality is
And it's,
mine.
at least at 22 minutes in, without any minus armor. But it's kind of, they're like saying, Neon, come take this. We're going to do Roche. If you don't defend this, then we'll take it for free. And if they come and defend it, well, Dai just win that fight anyway with how far ahead they are and how better of a team fight composition they have to fight inside the Roche grid as well. So a lot of the time, it's very difficult to give up Roche for free. Try and wrap around. TPing the Wyvern, they show, but they know he's smoked right now. They zip on the backline, however, spear off the mark. Yopaj with this Shadow Blade, they don't catch anyone. Nice disengage, really nicely played. That must have been the reveal of the Shadow Blade because they didn't bring any detection for that. I've seen this link play a lot, where you smoke a couple of heroes, but you have someone showing on the tower. So if they dive in the tower, it's a hero that has a lot of defense as well with the Wyvern. 3 points in the Cold Embrace. Cypher catches him out. Still no force just yet. Looks like he gets the color as well for good measure. As the Shadow Amulet still falling incredibly low though. Actually pots the Womp, but now with the blink forward, he's got the BKB. Cypher's not going to get trapped up here. He might just TP on instead, but this is both on cooldown now. Play hard. Shield gets rid of the Vortex back, but it's not going to matter whether you accept to control him up. It's going to allow Mars to close distance if they want. As it forward play hard, Jules still ends up finding the Razor, but he doesn't have too much mana to work around with. And JG also has this regen. He needs to get rid of it on play hard because the regen is still popping out through here. Another Bloodstone charge, and he's still going to go all the way back up to full. So this Storm Spirit is just... wow.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Abaddon 7.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
Pushing versus Storm's not easy, and the fact that you already had Mars Blink and Wyvern has a lot of items to be able to catch the push now. Lich, Shane Frost, Yopaj gonna go for a TPR. Nice Use stepped up, but they'll counteract that one with Storm Zone. And with the Remnant set up, they'll be able to claim the kill, but in the meanwhile, mid lane, however, Mars is very tanky with a Bulwark. Needs to face Cypher here, but it looks like Radiant, they got the numbers advantage at the moment. Mars doing too much for the Frost Shield protection as well. Flash Solo might be in trouble next, though. Yeah, it's still only 3,000 gold net worth lead. Cirque is definitely keeping them in this.
Dire's courier.
You do see, Jesus, man, RR doesn't have the ultimate, so it's another Bloodstone charge. 21 now for the Storm. This bad boy is so far ahead right now. Even though he's not farming too much, he's just getting kills and stacking the Bloodstone. And without the greatest way to deal with them, Lazify, find him here. So, okay, needs to drag him back to Cirque. We'll chuck up the Winter's Curse. Looks like he used a lot of abilities for this one. He's still going to end up dropping. They got the Quickening Charm for the Storm as well. It's not too bad. I think doesn't it give you mana regen if I remember correctly?
Radiant's
Oh,
top
it's
tower
HP.
is
I
under
thought it was
attack.
mana. Love the Abaddon pose 4-5. Yeah, Neon really like the Abaddon as a support, I've noticed. They play it pretty frequently. The issue is that you need kind of, like, he doesn't provide you any lockdown. I think the only way they can kill the Storm is once Lifesteal gets Abyssal Blade. Like, he is getting to the stage where it's very difficult to bring him down. The only way I think he doesn't have an impact is if they're able to control him with the Static Link. Like, Lifesteal is literally their only hope. It's really reliant on if you can chain lock him down with Curse into Static Link, and then... But just take a look at the Razor's farm, man. And this is a hero that used to not farm well at all, but the recent changes, adding the Unstable Current in your Eye of the Storm, you maxing out the Plasma Field at an early time as well, you really do just flash farm incredibly fast. And when you see, look at his net worth right now. Nice blink away. Still got a fair bit of mana to work around with JG, but he's got to be careful. Yule Scepter, drag him back. Mars is going to try and close the distance. Shows Page has got his own Yule Scepter defensively, however. It looks like Blake Hart still will tick out. They're going to steal the damage of Yule Page, and looks like it's enough. Tiki, 138 stolen. Meanwhile, mid, however, they are able to find the Lich. It's just a constant back and forth with the Yules, just trying to kite them. Cirque's got to be careful. They can't deal with him throughout Rage, not right now without the Winter Wyvern. He'll be fine. a good old mud golem into the backline to just try and find the next wave. Oh, it's funny as. What? You have to rage! What did I just watch? Storm doesn't have much mana. I mean, he's going to try and run himself away, but he's got now the Aegis regen coming through, and he'll be able to close the distance. They literally just threw the game like that. Cirque's their only hope. What? Tip him!
Blow the man down.
How don't you rage TP out? Oh, let's see if they can get a pick off, but Mars is going to continue in. He's pretty tanky, 2100 HP. They are in the area as well. They get the Orchid out, stops the stun follow-up as well with the telekinesis, but now with the Arena's going to provide him some space. The Storm's going to zip forward, tries to catch Yopaj in the back line, and with the Shadow Blade, it won't be any protection. They got the dust to reveal him. Yopaj still reasonably tanky with the shield. Looks like off to the northern side, however, they do still the curse, but RR is going to go for his own TP out. Will make it. Cypher as well. Oh, they get the use. Nice use of the remnant to gain the vision now. He's going to still go for the BKB TP, but he's got a fair bit of stolen damage.
My lightning shattered that old stump.
Alright, well, they still find a hero down bot at least. That's a BKB charge. I mean, I don't know why he didn't BKB and TP up, but anyway. They can just continue. I mean, even though Aegis is down, they're just... It's just 3,000 gold, though, ahead. Where's it coming from? The fact that the Prophet is probably 2k ahead of the Mars is really keeping them in this, but you see, we're not seeing too much impact. I mean, he's going Nullify next, but Storm does... I guess he does have the Scepter defensively, and he's going to go BKB as well, so...
Over here.
We still have this Mango Tree, too. This is so nice for JG. So what's a problem? Zip, Mars, going to be able to find Yopaj. They do have the protection on the backline now with the curse stolen as well. Radiant, they have the numbers advantage at the moment. Control, Lich, Orchid it up, can't get the ultimate off him with any protection. He will get brought down now. Radiant not going to lose anyone at the moment, but TP is going to rotate forward. Static Green Cypher's getting drained. He's going to try and TP up, but it's a lot of damage stolen still. Look at the bash, TP, LSA, where's the fall with the curse now? Life still uncontrolled. Storm trying to do with the backline. Nice Scepter stops the God's Rebuke, but it looks like they'll still have enough damage. And Sir can't man fight into the Razor. The fact that he just stood there and tried to TP out allowed Tiki to steal all the damage. Even though they lose one, they're going to take 3 against the Neon lineup, and now they'll just take the T1 tower along with that. The way Dire are playing this is, I mean, still, you know, it's not really showing the net worth, but they are just... I think this is one of the few games where the net worth isn't as far ahead of what it should be.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
We can take T2. Do they want to go high ground? And Razor's going Butterfly. So he's kind of doing, as a position 1, you really have to go for kind of like the Scardy, Butter, Satanic, like really just a lot of damage. Even Daedalus as well, I'd like, but I mean, he's about to hit 25, so if he does go the 100 attack speed, which I have to imagine, and in Livestock doesn't have buybacks, so they'll just try and take the melee racks, potentially a full lane as well. It's not going to be easy because they don't push fast. And that's why I think Tiki, I mean, he can definitely still go for the Ag Synth as the game goes on, but you see Storm's getting to the stage where they don't have a way to deal with them, and Storm, once you're ahead, is really good against Alina, because you just get on top of her, make her use the Scepter defensively, and Alina has to play aggressive against the Storm before the hero comes online. Alright, that's the ultimate available. Meanwhile, mid, however, Sir, silent stop. He'll get pinned against the wall now, and the status resistance isn't enough. He's going to be down for 70 seconds. They try and catch RL for the side as well. Ultimate already going to get popped. JG doesn't have too much mana to work around with. It looks like it's enough to claim the kill. They'll end up going back to the high ground. They have the creeps coming through mid, but actually northern side nullifies out. A lot of damage on the Storm, but the corner Brace player is going to try and buy back here. They do have Hero Punch as well. A nice BKB stops the spear with the fall with the LSA, and it's enough to find the Storm. It's a big kill of that, a massive 10 times kill spree, but even then, they're still going to try and catch more. Raph, Cypher, Rappy,
attack.
Finds Wyvern on the backline. Mars is still in the area. The Orchid might just tick him out here, and looks like it does, but now Rappy forced to pop the BKB in with a Bulwark already maxed out. He's got the bonus armor as well. Mars, pin, Razor, stuck up against the tree. However, is the life still going to be enough? He might be able to turn a man fight instead. A little bit of space. Yopaj going to try and close the distance. They still can't deal with Mars because of the life still, however. Yopaj able to close the distance, has the Yule Scepter set up. Looks like this will be enough burst to bring him down. Somehow Mars is still alive though. He's going to go for a TPR. Will he make it? However, they don't have any way to cancel this bad boy. Okay. That's a big swing. That is a big swing. I don't know how they got it. Roche is up as well. Is this Abyssal Blade completed now? Fuck, he's started to get very poor all of a sudden. I mean, he's got picked off a couple of times. I don't know. I mean, life still feels like he needs Manta right now with this Orchid, but you can't go that defensive. Oh, dude, I thought the Abaddon picked up in ages with how he walked there, but... Okay, so Rubik has Blink. Ability's maxed out. So the initiation makes it easy. It's just the casual gloves. The attack speed's nice for his farming speed. I've seen him do it time and time again. I don't think you can build it into anything. No. It's just really nice for the value to flash farm. They're going to try and make something happen. I mean, bots pushed in. They don't have to smoke with the Prophet. Razor's still down for a period of time. Storm just used a lot of mana as well to try and push in top. So they're going to make a movement. They'll be able to find the Wyvern here. Nice smoke up, pick off. A little bit more gold for Cirque. They're going to try and catch another hero with the backline TP, but a perfectly timed spear push back. They won't catch anyone. Mid lane's already pushed in, so they can't get a tower out of this. That's massive that Prophet doesn't kind of TP mid and push that out instead, trying to catch more. Mid lane is still pushing in now, but I guess Wyvern's dead for 40. They'll get the lanes pushed out. And so it's just a smoke pick off on a support, but it does give them a little bit more map control. You see the net worth lead's actually back in Neon's favor, and all of a sudden the Lifestealer is back to second place in the net worth, but they need the Abyssal Blade before the next time they fight. I don't want to see them fight without the Abyssal Blade. Storm doesn't have any protection, you know, of course no Lincolns, which would be really nice this game considering. That's a leaner setup, the Rubik as well, and into the Prophet. I mean, he definitely needed a BKB with how this game is transitioning, but Cypher is farming up relatively well as well. I mean, still just trying to do as much as he can to split push out this map with the Nature's Call as well. But we'll quickly take a look at some of the neutral items where we get a chance. They just got the quickening charm, man.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The seeds are falling.
Okay, interesting choice. Spider legs on Mars is super nice, I must say. Though, just anything on your spider legs on any of your offlane initiation heroes is really important, just to help out with closing the distance. But they do have the telescope on the Abaddon, so the aura, of course, a bonus attack range for the Lena is going to be really nice if she does go damage as the game starts to scale. But it looks like they just want the burst, and that's kind of what you go when you don't have a lot of lockdown. You either go burst potential to melt through the hero you stun, or you go for like a lot of lockdown, whether it's the Hex or Abyssal or whatever. Oh, was there any others? They got the Orbit Destruction, right? Yeah, so Lifestealer's got that. So it looks like it's about to be Abyssal Blade completed. He's got the cheese still available as well. Same with the Ages over on the Lena for another 2 minutes now. So Zerk is still farming up incredibly well, but they need to secure a way to deal with the Razor Static Link, and right now I'm not seeing it. With no Force Staff, Cypher's going for a lot more damage position 3 kind of build, and I think that means the supports have to go Force Staff this game, and when you take a look, they don't have any. And this is just a natural way to cut out the Static Link, and the fact that you don't have this is going to make me worry through the team fights. I actually think you have to go for it this game. I think Helbet's really strong, but you might not need Helbet if you just get rid of the... Yes, Razor's still going to right-click incredibly hard, but you might not need it if you just destroy the last... not the last, the Static Link, apologies. So they're going to smoke up, though. They have the Aghanims completed on Yopaj, and with this Abyssal Blade as well, they're going to try and make a timing happen. Rubik, first up, taking a fair bit of damage here. They'll chain lock him down, but Cypher's going to try and deal with Lich to start the fight. However, off the side, the Abyssal Blade up. Wyvern can't get the corner brace off. So Rubik does die back. 100 seconds now down. But they do find 2 kills for the price of 1. They're going to try and sit up top as well, potentially. No one's showing just yet, and maybe right before the outpost, we'll see Yopaj push out this map. How tanky is the Storm? 2900. I think he's tanky enough to survive, but maybe if Lena and Prophet are there at the exact same time, it might be enough. This could work here, but Razor's got Satanic. I mean, look at the status resistance. What is it? 44% right now? Mars is about to show. No one's. I mean, who's showing bot? Like, they see Cirque, they see RR as well, but apart from that, that's it. Yeah, it has to be cursed into Link, otherwise it's.
Dire's bottom tower.
And like, yeah, I think that's the only. Even because Radiant don't have 4 stuffs, I think you can still static Link without curse though. Because look how fast he moves, 444. Yeah, he's gone for multiple items to give you movement speed. Nice speed back, straight into T here. RR's just gonna TP out. Will he make it? Looks like the answer is yes, Storm. Not gonna get there in time. Yeah, going Sunjin Yasha, Butterfly Skadi, really good at just being able to chase someone. Link can be countered easily. Okay, I agree, but they haven't, so. Like, there's still no 4 stars. I don't know. Like, maybe you go Hurricane Pike on Prophet. What's the item? He's got Mjolnir. What, Mjolnir into Hex maybe? Mjolnir into AC is pretty good as well. They're gonna smoke out. Aegis has already timed out. They still have this cheese onto the Lifestealer as well. I think you might have to give the cheese over to the Lena, just because I think Lifestealer's got enough to stay alive now with 2500 HP. Alright, who can they find though? I'm trying to just stay on the high ground with this smoke, protect the observe ward. They're making a movement down to the bottom side, but they're going to be careful if they get cut off here. Lotus Orb. Smoke's going to pop. They'll find play hard. He's got the Dual Scepter. The stun's going to be there to counteract this one. He's going to die once again to start. Yeah, Lotus Orb's okay, but. I mean. Well, yeah, I guess you just chuck it on the. Because you know the only. Yeah, okay, I guess. Lena still likes the right click, so. She does move pretty fast as well. I guess you just. It's kind of hard to preemptively chuck it on the lifesteal, but I guess if this is the only one you have to worry about Lotus Orb in, then it's not as hard. Buzzer Fire finds RR. So it has this curse available, so Abaddon can't just straight TP out. Storm doesn't have too much mana to work around with as well. Maybe they think they're baiting potentially, and RR does move relatively fast, but Mars trying to close the distance. He's going to go up to the northern side here, so it looks like they just run opposite direction. Won't be able to catch him here. And they're doing a decent job of being able to split out the map here. Should be a couple 25s coming through. Yeah, it looks like Storm and both Razor are up ahead of it, so no real surprise about the Storm Spirit. And Razor did go the attack speed route as well. He's also going to go Blink, so this is going to further allow him to. I don't know. I don't think you can go Blink, right? How do you fit your Blink into your inventory? I guess for the 1, but it feels like it's glitch. They find the Abaddon with the illusion. Nicely played here. He'll get caught out. Has the ultimate. Radiant do have a good observe ward if they want to take the fight in the area. However, it looks like RR just left to his own devices. Radiant, they're going to try and split up the map in the meantime. And I mean, Dire just going to use his time to go higher ground quickly. The waves are in a pretty decent spot, mid and bottom. They're actually going to be able to find Cypher. As long as it falls, they've got the damage melts through him. GG. So much mana now to work around with, and they got a couple of buybacks available, but what can you really do? He's going to walk up high again with the attack speed. They'll shred the buildings. So it's going to try and front line with the Abyssal Blade. Razor's not an easy target to bring down, especially with the Cold Embrace, but they're going to try and fill in the Prophet. This could be a dieback potentially. Where's the protection with the Abaddon down? Prophet, that's a dieback. And now Yopaj is the next target. Perfect target prioritization coming through from Lowkey, bringing down the hero that just brought back, and they're going to be able to find the Lena as well with the Dust, dragging back. Pin, not going to go up against the effigy here, but it doesn't matter. Get the curse as well. Life still controlled. He already used his static link. So Cirque will be fine, but Neon, they gotta fight with 2 heroes down. They both don't have buyback. Cirque, he just doesn't have the damage right now. Evasion. He's gonna be fine enough straight to the rest of the supports. They'll pin him to the racks. The fallen dead racks. And he looks like he'll die right in their place. Slowly drain his damage. And looks this game's just well and truly over. They'll start to beat onto the tier 4 towers. Lifesteal just doesn't have the damage by himself. It's so hard to bring him down. But the Frost Shield protection, I mean, he's going to go in T here again, but he's still got the Satanic available. He's going to turn around and just man fight. They get out the curse, but no one's taunted. It's just the Mars and now Tiki. Die, they don't give a damn. JG just wants to make as much space as possible. Abaddon, no ulti, will get dropped. Another Rubik's the next target as well. A perfect Mars arena stops any retreat back inside the well. Lowkey, a very high-key Game 1 victory. Quite the performance. Oh, drop the G's. You love to see it. Dude, whoa, what's going on here? Woo! Man's not happy. We got dropping some items. Damn, JG was not happy about that tip to start the game. We saw the reactionary tip as soon as he got killed by the Lena. And then he tipped the Lifestealer when they were, picked him off of that bottom tier 2. And man's just dropping items inside the well. Damn, Lowkey, they're fired up right now. I mean, why wouldn't you be after quite the victory like that? What a Storm performance, honestly. The fact that you kind of suffer in the landing stage. How many stacks did they make the Storm? 8 stacks from Lich. 4 from Wyvern. Jeez, man. I want to... Jesus. Lena was 600 gold ahead, 10 minutes. 10 minutes she was 1,000 gold ahead. And then the stacks, it was probably about around T when he started taking them. Dude, they really put a lot of emphasis on the Storm to be able to come back after that mid-matchup. And I think the issue with the Lena is that, against the Storm especially, is that the Lena's very... I don't want to say immobile because you have high movement speed, but you just don't have... Storm's literally the best catch in the game. Like, you can be anywhere, wherever you want, and it gets to the stage where if you initiate on the Lena, she has to use her Eul Scepter defensively. Like, Lena doesn't like heroes on top of her, because the LSC is hard to hit if a hero's on top of you. It's just easier to dodge, especially with Storm's movement speed. And if you use the Eul Scepter on yourself, or even on Storm, Storm just follows up. So a Storm Spirit ahead of Lena is a very good matchup, and you see the fact that they have this Razor up against the Lifestealer. We didn't really see Cirque have too much of an emphasis this game. Just the fact that you get static linked and you don't have the damage output. Like both the supports from Neon, I want to see the damage graph actually as well. Like yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Like, these are all rough. The fact that Cypher's 25,000, but I think that the big timing from Neon is when they had the Orchid on Cypher, but somehow Wyvern, man, got just as fast as an Orchid timing. 12 minutes? And then the Wyverns was, I think, 15, so it's a position 4 compared to a 3, maybe a little later, but still, that's pretty nuts. Just before the 17-minute mark. That's a very big Orchid pickup, and it kind of just set back the Neon Esports kind of lineup. They stopped to try and pressure out, and we saw as soon as they had Maelstrom, as soon as they had Orchid, it was go time for them. They wanted to make a lot more plays across the map, and Lowkey knew that Storm couldn't take these early game fights, and that is the big issue with the Storm. And they were able to get past that weakness of the hero, the early to mid game lack of damage, and Neon just kind of just crumbled under the pressure. And Lowkey, a very convincing Game 1 victory, honestly. I really like the draft coming through. Yeah, JG's quite the player, man. That was a hell of a game from him on the Storm. And I'm excited for next game, though, to say the least. I mean, we saw a bunch of BM this game. Let's see if it's gonna be similar in the next one as well. I don't know. I'm very excited. We're probably going to have a bit of banter back and forth, a little bit of tips as well. I still don't know why Seb doesn't have his tag. It hurts me to see it. Wait, General's on Flight of the Moon? I don't know that. That's what she said. Damn, Sonya and Yasha into Satanic?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wait, how have they not gotten top yet?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Young money.
Quisper donated $1. Great cast as always.
Quisper donated $1. I need to change that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I really do appreciate the donor. Thank you, brother. Dude, what is my... Why does it say that? Quisper donated $1. Thank you very much for the donor, man. I do appreciate that. It's a lot of love. You're way too kind, brother. How do I change that now? Because that's the weirdest shit. I'll try and work it out after stream. Oh, yeah, I'll work it out after stream. You're always calling? Doing my best, man. Trying to grind. Thank you for the donor. I really do appreciate it.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's nice.
Nia. Will not rise in my presence.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Arms for the dead, a soldier's fortune.
Dire are scanning.
Invisibility.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sorry, lads. Gotta go to the game. Sorry, bruvaz.
For the mind, body, and soul. 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 For the mind, body, and soul.
Bro, it's all for the mind, body, and soul, chat. That's what it's all for, you bunch of nerds. Let's see if they go the Rubik. Are they gonna give up on the hero? Oh, they give up on the Rubik. Oh, I never thought I'd see it. Surely just Enchantress here. What? How do they let it go through and pick up a Lich? They actually, I think they're tilted out of their mind. What? If they don't Enchantress with this pick, any knowledge I have is just like thrown out the window. And I already know they weren't Enchantress and just prove me wrong. Like I already know it. Come on, come on. Show me the Sproink lady. They'll go for like Enchantress and someone with magic damage. I'd be so surprised if they don't. Very, very surprised. Poxban, never mind. I'm glad they banned the Wyvern though. Lowkey played really well with that Wyvern. Lowkey, they played well.
Radiant team pick.
Void
Oh, they're not gonna do it. They're actually not gonna do it. And I'm gonna look like a fucking moron now. Alright. Well, they do go one route, like I said, someone with a lot of magic damage, so they don't really give a damn about the Frost Shield right now with the Void Spirit. It's a very early Void Spirit though. Oh, they don't do it. I'm mind blown. So they're gonna take away Neon's Rubik. Do they Enchantress on Die now? I guess they can play. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anymore. So I guess maybe they prioritize the Rubik more just so Neon don't get Lich and Rubik. Because I think it's either Neon get Rubik and then Lowkey get the Lich.
Dire team ban.
They'll Doom as well, so we'll probably see them protect the Doom. They insta-ban the Razor. We'll probably see someone like a Slark potentially get banned out as well. Maybe Lifestealer. We'll see what they want to try and prioritize against the Doom here. There you go. Lifestealer's gone. Okay. I still don't know how no one's picked Enchantress. I guess I don't know Dota. So now they're actually going to deal with the Doom matchup instead of banning a lot of offlane heroes. So heroes like the Abaddon, the Legion, the Omni still in the pool, which are incredibly strong against the Doom. Of course, you do kind of suffer from getting ultied yourself, but very good ways to protect. Now you can also go for a Centaur. My issue with the Doom getting picked up is that it's with a Lich, and Lich has a lot of slow, but sometimes it's difficult to get into the fights and chalk out these abilities. Like, I'd much rather Doom with a Wyvern, with a Rubik, just because you have a lot more stuns to enable your ultimate. Of course, Neon have a lot more picks still, which they can go down that route. But it's the Doom. The big issue is just being ulting someone and then disengaging, and because you don't have stuns. I like the Grimstroke ban. Okay. Doom is a very big counter to Void, though. The hero does rely heavily on his abilities, but it's not easy to get that initiation with how slippery the little bugger is. Let's see what they do. I still think Enchantress is pretty good if you get Nature's Attempt. I don't know. I'm just saying like reasons for Enchantress because I think it's really good against the Lich. I think it's good against the Doom as well, but I just want this hero to get picked up, so I don't look like a fucking moron.
Dire team pick.
Fuck. I don't think they'll do it now. Okay, so the Jug's interesting. It's like they have a game advantage. They're gonna say, fuck it, we'll pick the Jug. I mean, the healing ward's really nice, whoever gets doomed. They don't have any magic immune lockdown right now, so we might see them. They can flex the Doom and maybe go for like a Slaughter here, which I think is pretty decent versus the Jug. It's also catch first avoid, but I think you really want the Doom as a core to deal with the Void Spirit though. It's another hero that can come online relatively early, but you don't mind getting a lot of farm. So, and I've seen a lot of times, Signal are the teams I've seen run the Void Spirit recently, and what they do is they play the Void as a more high tempo hero and just making plays for the position 1 to get farm and just kind of making space. I feel like there would have been better cores to lane versus the Doom. There was still Slark and Phantom Lancer, but they're gonna Leaner. So Neon really like the Leaner, but you can just go back for the Storm. They do have last pick if they want to save the Storm though. I think you go for your offlane hero and leave Ultra last for JG. But we saw last game how the Storm worked up against the Leaner though. If you do hit that late game timing, and they already don't have, I mean, Doom's decent catch, but the Lich kind of struggles. I kind of want to see someone to be able to protect the Void Spirit.
5 seconds remaining.
I think Abaddon's pretty decent actually this game. Like Omni, there's not a lot of physical damage coming from Neon, so the ultimate's not going to be too good. I'll disrupt this, so it looks like I'll show the support. Oh, the Void's mid actually, what am I saying? Sorry. So the disrupt is going to be played as a 5, it looks like this game. Really nice harassing 5 still. And Neon probably have to go for a 4 to be able to protect the Doom. I'm not a huge fan of Doom Leaner as a side lane because you don't have a setup for the LSA. So I think Neon have to go for like a point target stun, or at least someone with a stun to start the fights. And they're actually going to put the Leaner as a 4 man. Wow. TA's already banned out, so they don't have to worry about this as the last phase ban from Neon. So Leaner 4 is interesting. They don't have Doom, like Doom doesn't have a setup stun for the lane, which is why we saw like Sand King with Leaner, Ogre with Leaner a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
They're lacking catch, man. Lowkey have a lot, and Void Spirit's high mobility. I've not read this draft at all, and I'm hoping I read the last 2 picks, but I don't know. I think Centaur's nice for Radiant. It's really good against the Doom. Helps the Jug not get kited. What's the chance they Darkseer actually? What is it? Man, I don't like Darkseer, but it actually looks decent. Like, it actually looks pretty decent. Surge is so nuts on Jug.
Dire team
Very good heroes. I like the Drow ban. Drow's good with Shadow Fiend because of the ranged Agi carry. Nah, they can't Darkseer, right? That hero's so shit. It's gonna be someone to protect the Doom target. They don't have anything right now. I think they don't. They have too much control as well. Both teams are lacking a little bit. They could mag on Neon, maybe. The BKB piercing is really nice against the Jug. And they don't really have any physical protection, considering Neon already have the Lich. Although I guess the Void does have the the pulse, the resonant pulse, which does give you physical protection, so maybe that's okay.
Dire team pick. Radiant
And the
team
Conquer.
Gyrocopter!
What, they think the Void's a 3? It's a lot of magic damage from Neon. Like, a lot of magic damage. Whoever the offlane hero is has to go for pipe this game, like, without a
10
doubt.
seconds remaining.
I kind of rather Neon's line up this game than what they had last. It was like Lowkey don't have the greatest team fight right now. It's like really weird to take team fights, I think, with their lineup. They don't have a way to start the fights unless it's like disrupted glimpsing someone back. I think Centaur's good against the Gyro.
Bat Rider!
You may now select.
Well, they go someone who doesn't build utility. Dude, I literally don't understand what this draft is. They don't have a way to deal with Sticky Napalm or Lasso. They at least get an initiation hero, which I think they needed. My only issue that Neon is gonna fucking hit really hard. Maybe they think the healing ward from Jug's enough to deal with the Doom? You guys just listen to me just literally say nonsense for X amount of time. How the fuck did I not read that? I mean, I like Dai's lineup. I think Neon's got a lot more equal, just one-sided, like...
5 seconds.
Just Void Spirit's still just so up in the air with me. My only issue right now from Neon is I think their offlane is really weak. Aline at Doom, they're gonna get bullied out. Doom's laning stage is just dumpster now, honestly. Like, you don't get as much HP regen with Devour. They keep nerfing the movement speed on Scorched Earth. Feels like it's so difficult for you to actually lane anymore, and you're just kind of gonna get pressured out here. And also, I think the matchup with the Batrider against Gyro, it is two ranged heroes though, so if Batrider can get on top of them, they're not gonna have a whole lot of movement speed. I think Lowkey might be able to just come through with the laning stage, but I think the mid matchup's gonna be questionable. The Void Spirit versus the Shadow Fiend. I've seen it before. It's the issue with the Void Spirit. It's a melee hero. So yes, you do have that Calling Blade bonus damage, which is nice against last hitting early on against the Shadow Fiend. But now because you're a melee hero in the mid lane, it's really easy setup for the short raise and then followed up by a double or triple raise. So this is my one issue with picking up a melee hero like that against the Shadow Fiend, is that you're just naturally setting the hero up to land some raises. We'll see how this game plays though. I mean, I hope like we have some banter at least, because we saw last game just dropping items, which was kind of funny. So hopefully we actually get a little bit of banter back and forth again this game. I mean, there was very minimal, some tips and shit like that, but the BM at the end was pretty funny. Sorry. Alright. Let's go. See, I think it's really dependent on the lane matchup early on versus the Void Spirit Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend should have a good time. Let's see if they put a lot of emphasis on stacks as well. I think the Void has to make a lot of plays early. I think Dire are going to scale a lot better into the late game. That's my one question mark with the Void Spirit right now, is how well do you actually scale into the late game. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can hit this timing, or even like beforehand. You know, they want to try and make a lot of plays across the map, but they don't really have a lot of stuns, so it's going to be difficult to catch constantly. I still do think this Batrider lane's going to go relatively well, because the Lich Frost Shield doesn't do jack shit. Probably have to put a couple of points in Sinus' Gaze, honestly, just to stay afloat through that laning stage, so... It's really going to be interesting to see how they're able to play this. I mean, we haven't seen Juggernaut too much lately either, and it looks like, I mean, he's already queued up that Battle Fury, so... Jug getting doomed is a little worrisome, honestly. Like, you are kind of relying on your abilities. I don't know, I'm kind of worried that they just doom the Jug all the fights if he starts becoming an issue. Because they might be able to deal with the Void Spirit if they have BKBs. I do think the laning stage on the Doom is going to be very questionable, though. Like, Playhard's got a Basti already, but it feels like you're not going to connect on any of your abilities right now with no setup for the LSA, and that's why we constantly see the Lina kind of paired up with, like I said, Sand King, Ogres. Just any setup with a stun is really important when you're a side lane Lina, honestly, because you're not going to get that much farm. Like, we've kind of seen the Aether Lens build is usually the way to go when you're playing a side laner, or at least a support. Because, yeah, I Aether to yours, I guess, but I don't know. If they can get to that stage, then yeah, props to them, but I think it's going to be difficult as this game continues to go on. I don't know. I like Dai's lineup. I think the lanes are going to be the only question mark right now, and if they're able to get out of it and not really take too much damage from the laning stage, then I think they're going to be fine. Apart from that, though, like, they've got a really good mid-game timing is what I'm seeing, though. With the Gyro Shadow Fiend, both these heroes can have heavy... It's very split damage, like, it's very physical and magical orientated, which, having heroes like that with kind of mixed damage... Magic damage is very, very important through the early game, early to mid-game. And then, of course, physical starts to take over when people have BKBs, etc. So, this is why the Shadow Fiend and Gyro are going to be able to turn up to these fights at a really good timing. So, it'll be interesting to see kind of how, if it's enough, if the lanes work out. They get an Observer? He did, okay. I don't think they gave him the gold. Who would have placed it, actually? The fuck are the supports? Maybe they did give him the Sentry to get the gold. I guess he wouldn't have 140 by now. Is this Corio? I don't know. It's so weird with the change, because it says he got the ward, but sometimes it says that and still the supports get the gold, so... Like, it just depends who dropped the Sentry down. It's really weird to see how it works out, but we've seen this time and time again. The Shadow Fiend's going for raises level 1. You just secure literally your full first wave of experience, and then it's really nice. The fact that you're able to, kind of spam out the mangoes, especially it's even easier now because you have your own Courier. You've already got this free Wraith Band coming out with a little bit more sustain as well, so you're just going to go a couple of mangoes into the bottle. No real surprise there, but in the meantime, how's the harass going to be coming down at this bot side? I mean, why solo? He's got a Clarity, a couple of mangoes to work around with as well, so constantly just probably going to spam out the Thunderstrike. You see the Lina, I mean, it does have a little bit better damage output than the Disruptor, but it's not going to be easy to hit this LSA especially, and they're actually just going to try and pull the wave here. This matchup's interesting. I think once Batrider starts to get levels, it'll be okay. But it looks like just kind of the spam coming through from the Frost Blast and Gyro with his own spam as well does make it difficult for the Batrider to actually close the distance. And this is kind of the one thing I was questioning about. Like, range heroes are very, very... they're not fast. They don't have too much mobility. But the good thing is that they're going to be able to dump a bunch of damage into the Batrider before he actually gets on top of them. So I wasn't sure if this would be enough to kind of counteract the Batrider effect in the laning stage. And, it looks like it's doing a relatively good job early on. But even then, you can never take away a Batrider's effect. Like, once you start stacking up the Sticky Nate Bomb, looks like they both have, I mean, I have to imagine this is a stick coming out. He does, what the okay. Interesting. I mean, you always get a stick against Batrider, so I would not be surprised if he picks it up. So, JG's still relatively well mid, 16-2, Yopaj starting to sack up the stalls here, but be careful, he does have the Raise is available if he pops the mango, but Void Spirit's able to run himself away fast enough, and I like the Void Spirit going for the stick as well. That's another hero that just kind of spams out the abilities throughout the laning stage, so giving you some survivability through the burst. Play hard. It's going to try and TP up, but it won't be there in time. He's going to be able to claim first blood down, but looks like he was getting a little bit too over the mark here, trying to stack up, try and find some experience on that pool, but in the meantime, He's having a pretty good lane, 18 to 3. They're not really shutting down the Doom though, so Doom already being level 3. This hasn't put anything else skilled up yet, and we're seeing this pretty frequently, just trying to get the speed aura. The fact that your Scorcher, the movement speed, keeps getting nerfed each level now. It's the lowest it's ever been. So it's really important for you to be able to get this. He actually goes for the wind. A little bit of the... What creep is that again? Wild Wing, that's it. I can't remember what the big name is. I don't know if it's got a different name. I really want to find out now. I'm intrigued. We'll keep an eye on it. For Yopaj, I have to simulate back up, but it looks like it's really hard to hit without the Remnant. Oh, I want to find it. Oh, let's see. It is still called Wild Wing Roadbook. Well, the armor's going to be relatively nice against the Juggernaut. Of course, early on, Jug, very reliant on your blade through damage, kind of just to... that's really where you get your kill threat, but the fact that Jug has very high attack speed and the crits is a good way to harass someone, so yeah, that armor's nice. What is it, 3 armor, I believe? Yeah, so if they can stack up as well, it's going to be really nice to just take some stacks, but still in the meantime, it's kind of very similar to the last game, you know, we're not seeing too many threats across the lane. Both teams relatively content with farming up. I think the big timing's mid. JG, once he does hit the level 6, I mean... He's going to be careful, man. This is going to be the issue. Yeah, once you get 6, yes, you will have the Astral Step to get on top of the Shadow Fiend. But even then, he might wait for 6 and try and find the kill, but he's going to be careful with how he's playing around here. Yopaj is still playing around on a little bit low HP as well. I think the level 6 is the neutral creep. You love to see it. Level 6 is a lot more important on the Void Spirit than the Shadow Fiend. I mean, just getting another point in Necromancer, it's not like Shadow Fiend gets that ultimate, so yeah, it's going to allow the Void Spirit to make a couple of rotations across the map, potentially. He does have a bottle as well, so he'll be fine. They kept the bounty on for him. This is kind of what we're being seen lately, and I wonder if we do have a lot more mid laners going back for bottle. Now with the rework of the bounty runes, this kind of feels like this is really the mid lanes now. So it does make it a lot easier to be able to secure. And I'd like to see just, if the enemy mid laner has a bottle, maybe support just kind of making a rotation and scouting if this is out. Because a lot of the time, you know, they want to keep that bounty there just to enable. Doom's still getting a lot more out of this bottom lane than what I thought. I mean, how many points has he got in Thunderstrike? He's still holding 1 skill point available, but... Cypher to the Infernal Blade as well at the 5 mark, but JG now will try and get aggressive on Yopaj. He does have a mango to work around with, but has already used his short race, so Astral step forward to simulate. We'll do a little bit of damage here. JG's going to be careful, however. The Fairy Fighter try and stay alive. Lucifer's going to rotate forward as well. Like he will be fired, so a couple of supports joining that mid wave. I won't get anything out of this, but in the meantime, down bot though, he's still getting aggressive over on, so both lanes starting to get aggressive but not really being able to find any kills. I think it's really important that the bat didn't at least end up dying to the Gyro, because traded his life to the neutrals, but Cirque, once he gets 6, I think Jarek actually can't lane here. I'm kind of surprised at the matchups that I thought they were going to go a little bit better for Lowkey, but very surprised at the matchup. I think it just comes to show that the Gyro just spam and damage from afar with that flat cannon early on. And with the Frost Boss was a really good way to just make it so it was pretty useless for him to take these fights. But still, supports are hanging around mid. JG won't be able to dodge the LSA, however, but he's got to be careful. The simulate's available, Yopaj. Still, with the sticks, we'll be able to play around. The Remnant sometimes is early on. I don't think it's long enough to set up. 1.8 pool duration, base duration 1.3, yeah. So you've got to pretty much go for 3 levels. It's kind of the good timing of when, what is it, 1.6 and then 1.3, so if that makes any sense. That makes sense in my head. Probably just worded it really poorly, but The fact that Doom's getting a lot out of this is, I think, really important for Neon. You know, if he can go like drums, Blink, I think, which, you know, he's already working on the drums, it's just going to be a great way to actually get on top of the Void Spirit, who's very reliant on his abilities, of course, and I think it's going to be super important if Jug doesn't get doomed, we're going to have to see him chalk up the healing ward literally straight away, and they are making a lot of stacks, though. Jesus, man. Fucking hell. They love their stacks on Dire. This isn't going to be easy to take, but maybe lose if I can help out with 2 points in the Fable. This is a lot of experience. Far out. Why don't my support stack like that? Hello? It'll take a while to get this, but Jesus. He's got a lot of last hits on the bat. I mean, he's doing relatively well with levels. Didn't go Firefly though. Oh, sorry, didn't go Lasso. Dude, they found 3 neutral items through all of that. Were they all the tier 1s that they just got from the team? No. So there's still one more to claim. But Void's going to try and come bot. Get the glimpse back. Cypher has the Doom available. He's just going to try and TP up, but the Remnant will cancel this one. Nice use of the TP. JG won't be able to find himself some participation inside the kill. And the big thing is as well is they're giving some space over to the Rubik. I mean, already level 5 thanks to the stacks and giving him a little bit of experience as well. I hate how this comes up. It never used to. I don't know why it's there now. But I love the fact that they're, you know, being able to give Rubik some space in the mid lane. I mean, level 6 is so nice on the hero. And they're actually going to smoke up and try and make a play top. So they want to try and infiltrate the Gyro's lane, but I feel like as soon as Gyro sees this, he's just going to TP down bot. That has a lasso available. I'm going to try and bait him here potentially and see if they overcommit, but Cirque hasn't actually picked up the... Oh, he does have a skill point available in the ultimate now with the Frost Shield. Still a fair bit of magic with damage coming through to here. Nice Sinister's Gaze. Looks like with the drag back from the Flame Break allows Jug to get in range, chuck out that Omni Slash. Now off down bot, Cypher chucks out the ultimate. Looks like he should be able to close the distance. The Shopdown moves relatively fast with boots and windlace, but this will be enough. Chucks out the Hadouken. They get the outpost right before the timer as well, so Radiant going to be able to control both of these before that 10-minute interval. That's pretty important for them. I know they're still hunting for more, but it looks like RR will be able to TP himself away. So I love the rotation. You get a big kill on the Gyrocopter that's going to force him to go now down to... He's actually got mid instead of bot, but...
Are fortified.
We used to see this a lot when the Jug was getting picked up. As soon as kind of you get the ultimate, this is like a free kill pretty much, especially with the offlane and support. So you rotate to the safe lane, get a free kill, put the ulti on cooldown, and then try and put pressure on the tower as well. But I don't know how Radiant defend this. They do have still TPs available. Flame Break is going to push them away actually from the static sword, but Cypher's kind of split out on the southern side now. JG, a lot of damage with the Astro Step. Will be able to dodge the LSA as well, and now off the side the lasso. Shadow Finn's going to get dragged back, doesn't have a point up in the ultimate, so no turn potential. Now they get the vision as well with the glimpse. Play hard, no disengage available. The fact that Fly Solo already level 7. They didn't give the tome over to the Rubik, so incredible play there. They also get the deny over, and in the meantime, top Tiki will be able to find the tower. So all of a sudden, I mean, Lowkey play. Dude, I'm impressed, man. They're playing this game incredibly well. And now Jug's got Perseverance. He's gone for a casual bleed of the attack as well. Sorry, I meant Gloves of Haste, not Blades of the attack. I always get them confused. I don't know why. I had issues as soon as I started playing Dota, so maybe it's just transitions. I mean, I don't think you go drums, but... So how do they deal with him through a Blade Fury TP out? And it looks like they don't have the answer. I mean, chucking out Doom is... It does mini stun, technically. Well, it cancels TPs. So this is going to be a good way to cancel the Jug. But of course, I mean, the Doom Ultimate is a very long cooldown. 145. So they might be able to find Cypher though, forced to pop the drums. Stacking up the sticky, however, Cypher's just getting burnt down right now, and he doesn't have any rotations. They'll glimpse him back. It does drag him further back into the Firefly though, and looks like the Bat Rider is still going to be able to close the distance. With 6 points in the sticky, those right clicks start to hit incredibly hard, and that's a big kill as well. The fact that he didn't even have Lasso up, and he's still fighting that. And I think Batrider is able to get the kill because he has the Tranquils and the Windlace as well. But in the meantime, however, he's got big lane. Yopaj going to try and charge up the ultimate. We'll be able to get it off with the Fable from Mr. Rubik cuts him down. That's a decent kill. You'll take that as well. Rubik's getting close to the 8th lens. Already has the arcane boots along with the recipe. So I mean, he's got 8th lens now completed now. And this is a very, very good Rubik game. A lot of magic damage abilities. So it's going to allow you to kind of flash farm the jungle and push out the waves at a good timing. But they're going to try and smoke. I have to imagine Doom's available if they're making this smoke. And it looks like it is up. But Radiant, they're on the high ground. A perfect wall positioning. JG. Static Storm's available. Connects up to 2. Cypher up to the northern side. However, what incredible positioning from Lowkey. I mean, time and time again. The right place, the right goddamn time. And now Cirque's going to be careful if they can get vision of him. There's no ward up there, so he will be fine. Far out, man. That's a hell of a position.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You love to see it. What, a 3-man smoke? They get nothing out of it. They're going to be able to take a tier 1 tower mid now as well.
Structures are fortified.
Fly solo. God damn, this freaking disruptor. And now, they're not pressuring out the Jug Battle Fury as well. I mean, he's 6,200 net worth. Radiant are making a lot happen across the map with the 5,000 gold net worth lead. We'll get it. Nice. Who's going to get it? Oh, it's for +6 gold, baby. Let's go. Dude, I didn't watch Lowkey through the group stages, so is this over already? No, it's not over. It's not over. I think Dai take it late game. But the issue is, this could be Blink now. It is. It's Blink already picked up. I wouldn't be surprised if we still see Radiant kind of farm, because Void Spirit doesn't have the Orchid just yet. He's very, very close, and Jug's close to Battle Fury. So the big thing is that I think Jug only wants to fight when he has Omni Slash. Battle Fury is, even though they keep amplifying how much damage it, increasing how much damage it actually gets. It's got a couple of buffs recently, but this is very much like a Midas. You just want to use this to farm, not really fight. Try and get that next set of items before the enemy team, and then you can start joining. But until then, it's going to be very difficult, because this Void Spirit can still just make a lot of plays across the map if need be, and he's just going to sneak a bounty. So looks like it'll be a 3-for-1. He does run into RR as well. Nice setup with the Remnant. It'll be enough damage he's going to tick out there. Beautifully played. And this ward's up for 10 seconds as well. Let's see if they can get the D ward. They won't, so this sentry now for Naught, they don't get a little bit of gold and experience from it. So that's also nice. And the fact that they now have an Aquila on the Juggernaut with just Battle Fury picked up, you know, things are going really, really well for Radiant. But how did Dire kind of transition this back? They got to somehow make it to the late game. They're not. The cause is still farming okay. You know, Doom's getting what he can across the map, but the big thing is that Tiki also just got a Philosopher's Stone. So giving this over to the Rubik mid lane, however, Fly Solo will be fine with the kinetic field, with this ward on the backline just scouting the little bit of an aggressive movement, and once again Neon aren't able to make anything happen. I mean, they've had this Doom available for a long period of time now, and Cypher just hasn't had any catch, and that's kind of the thing with Dire's lineup. Until Doom gets a blink, they're really lacking, and even Doom blink isn't the strongest. And they're going to smoke up, they'll try and go to the Juggernaut. I'm not a huge fan of this movement. I think Jug wants to farm, but it looks like they still don't have Orchid just yet either. Cypher going to find him throughout the trees, but off to the eastern side, however, they'll be able to blow up the Lina. RR's going to be the next target as well, even with the Astral Step on cooldown instead. Off this side, Batrider, feed up. Looks like Yopaj will be able to stay alive, but they're just kiting them out here. They're going to buy back and try and commit for this, but I mean, the Requiem's on cooldown now. You can't really catch the Batrider. It's pretty difficult. Gyro's going to run into him. Radiant still on the high ground. They'll chuck the core down. Stops this disengage, and with a burst from the Laguna Blade, it will be enough.
Dire's bottom tower is under
But I mean, Doom gets used, a lot gets used there from Dire. And I mean, only finding one kill on the Batrider, which he was, you know, ahead of the Shadow Fiend now. How am I doing today? I'm doing wonderful, Morphers. These have been some quite interesting games to watch. Hope you've been doing well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shit, man. Jug's way too farmed. He's rough.
Dire's top
Rubik
tower
as well.
is falling.
He's already got boots of travel on Mr. Lazafy. Getting to the stage where it's looking rough, considering Radiant can keep making plays across the map now. I mean, they got Orchid.
Dire's top tower
And they're
is
just going to
under
try and
attack.
keep the numbers advantage with the Boots of Travel and the Rubik constantly just splitting out the map. They will...
Is under attack.
I mean, they have 2 points healing ward. They know all the ultimates are down. They're actually doing this a lot faster than what they thought they would. And when the lanes are pushed out, like top's getting pushed in, mid's going to be pretty much even in the middle. Die just pushed bot in. So yeah, the lanes are really good. And I think Radiant are kind of content with forcing a fight here because they know Die don't have the ultimates available. There you go. I mean, now all of a sudden, Jug is going to have a second life to work around with as well. And, you know, this timing from Lowkey is very, very far ahead. And I thought Neon would have been able to join in these fights at a good timing with the high magic damage. But, you know, it looks like just Jared isn't being able to farm up too much. I mean, he's doing relatively well in the last hits, but... on board. Trying to Shadow Fiend chuck up the Frost Armor, but I don't think this is going to be enough with all the magic damage. Just pulling way too far away from the Dire supports to keep him live. Big fine for them, dead for 40 seconds, and this is the good thing about the Bat Rider pick up with the last pick, is that they don't deal with sticky napalm in the landing stage, so Bat had a decent time, but also mainly just this lasso. It's a free initiation with no real protection coming through him. They're just going to keep pressuring out any side of the map. They'll make sure Jared does not get farm. Nice scan, just on top of the outpost in case someone's TPing. Circle will be fine though. We'll make it out. What range is that?
Radiant
Is that the max? I don't even know.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They're going to get the second tower, man. Second tier 2 tower of the game, probably 93%. I'm trying to see how Dire can take this. I mean, they have to make sure they fight. I think you got to farm until the Aegis is out, but they do have a nice ward on the high ground if they can get a pick off here. But Bat Rider playing around with their Observe ward as well. They're not caught out. Static Song used just on one, and Cirque's going to get dragged back as well. But the Omni Slash is not tanky enough on the Gyrocopter, and Cirque's going to end up falling. A double kill for Tiki. They do have 1 point in the Frost Armor, so a little bit of protection for this high ground defense, but off to the side, you see the Doom coming through. Bat Rider's going to be able to survive this one as well, and all of a sudden, Yopaj, he's still very far pushed up across the map, but they get the Dragon Slave. Dude, Neon, they're tilted out of the main. They're out of their mind, man. Maybe this game, yeah, this game's over. They'll call it GG. They're going to tap out. Wow. What a flippin' performance from Lowkey, man. I don't know, but maybe dropping items inside base and BMing like that is a good way to win, because Neon just looked absolutely tilted. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, the Lowkey just made a lot of better movements across the map, like the Void Spirit getting aggressive and trying to make a lot of space and you know, put pressure on the map. But the main thing is how I describe that game is when Die try and smoke up, try and go towards that mid-tier 1 tower and find a pick-off, but low-key, they're just in a perfect positioning. They break the smoke on the high ground, they drop the Observe Ward as well, they don't catch the Void Spirit, and then they just lose 3 heroes by that